how is it like working with Dan Poffenmeyer and working on the new Phineas and Ferb again?
He's fantastic and incredibly talented. I mean, he's working on Hamster and Gretel and Phineas and Ferb at the same time. You know, writing music, writing scripts, doing a million voices. So he's crazy talented. I admire what he does a lot. And yeah, no, it's really exciting. I mean, I can't talk about anything we're doing in the 2 new seasons, but it's you guys are going to at least get 40 more episodes of the show, which is awesome. Because it's 20 per season, and we started working on it already. They're very funny. Everyone's fantastic. It's all the same cast, and yeah, it means a lot to. I feel like any performer when people really care about the work that they do enough that they get to do it for a long time and get to meet a bunch of people. Like we all get the wonderful opportunity to meet all you guys, and people care and they respond to it, and that's super exciting. And I got to play a character who, on a show who now people my age who I've grown up making the show and people grew up watching the show, they're showing it to their kids and they're, showing it to like a new entire generation of kids, and that's really crazy that I get to do something like that. So I'm having the best time ever.
All right, here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks, man. Hey, by the way, I think we all agreed in the back. Did we all agree this is going to be literally the second best panel ever?
Or third. Maybe third best.
Maybe third best.
Well, yeah, we don't want to. I thought this was supposed to be a roundtable discussion. Oh.
Right. Well, we're gonna use our imagination.
Yeah, we're this actors. Is a rectangle square.
We're actors. We're not mathematicians.
Yeah, we didn't really do the math on that one, but thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. How's the weekend been going so far for everybody?
Great.
Yeah.
I bought a horse.
Did you? Are you really?
Yeah.
So how'd that go down? What was that?
I got to figure out a way to get it back on American Airlines, but it's fine. It's fine.
Could be a service animal.
There's a guy. Yeah, it is a service.
Animal.
Yes, my emotional support horse.
Yep, there you go.
I like that. Emotional support horse.
Good luck.
I follow you on social media. Did you see your son this weekend? Your son, Dana Snyder, did you happen to run into him?
Yeah, I ran it. Look, guys, here's the thing. How many of you guys know who Dana Snyder is? Look, I raised this kid. I taught him everything he knew about voiceover. Every night, I massaged him to sleep by his vocal cords. I'd put my wet thumbs inside, and I show up, and I have one table to sign stuff, and he has 2 tables set up. He betrayed me. If you see Dana Snyder, just don't say anything to him other than, You can practice it if you want. That doesn't matter, but it's So please make sure you do that. And also, you can call him a son of a bitch.
All right. So before we get started, I think it would be great for the people who don't know if we could just go down the table and introduce ourselves and just talk about some of the voices that we're known for, or some of the projects that we're known for. So we can start right here.
Sure, yeah. My name is Vincent Martella, and I play Phineas on Phineas and Ferb. Thank you. I played Hope on a couple of Final Fantasy video games, Jason Todd in some Batman and Robin movies, and just a bunch of other various stuff, but those are probably the ones that people seem to know me from, like, downstairs, yeah.
Nice. I'm amongst greatness here. My name is Michelle Ruff. I play Rukia, Kuchiki, and Bleach. Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann, Sinon, Sword Art Online. I recently got to voice Mayday Parker in the recent last Spider-Man movie, the baby Mayday. Yeah, and I just
translate
directed.
that, baby.
Yeah,
Talk, what
it
you
means,
just...
It means shut the front door.
Okay.
And I just directed, I don't know if we have any Gurren Lagann fans in the audience, but I just made my directing debut for Animate with this Gurren Lagann movie, the second Gurren Lagann movie, which is getting theatrical release this month. Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yatco. You might know me as Nobara Kugisaki from Jujutsu Kaisen. What? Yeah. And also Raiden Shogun from Genshin Impact and other things. But I'm like really happy to be here. Like this table is crazy, and I'm here to soak up information and learn from y'all.
I'm Gary Anthony Williams. I'm a Pisces, Valley Village, California. My likes are sand. I love sand. I do a lot of cartoons, but mostly I found out, I just started doing these this year, but mostly I found out what people want to see me do is Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. So You can IMDb the rest of the stuff I do. Nobody cares about the Clone Wars stuff I do. Nobody cares. It's all Uncle Ruckus all the time.
So, I mean, the conventions are a great opportunity to meet other voice actors. Is this the first time we've all been together on a panel?
Yeah, I've never met
Yeah.
any of these people.
I've never ever seen
first
you
time I've
before
ever
in my
I
life.
met you.
literally had a
Yeah.
prayer 2 nights ago that I would never meet you guys.
And now, and here
so
it is.
Here we are.
sorry.
I guess God was not listening.
God hates me.
I know this lovely, but other than that, these two, nope.
I mean, there's so much talent right here at this table. I could imagine what the project would be if all of you got together in the same either cartoon or anime or something like that. Is there a project that or a character that you would want to voice? Is there like a dream project besides of what you've already been a part of? And anybody can take that.
Well,
question.
I've always said that like my biggest dream forever has always been to be the voice of a Disney princess. So I'm still hoping.
course.
And I haven't met Paige O'Hara yet, but I just keep looking over at her too. I'm like, I'm gonna meet you. I'm gonna meet you.
You're like, I'm coming for
I'm
ya."
coming for you.
I guess I'd like to be a Disney princess too. I mean, I think a lot of our dreams align,
Yeah.
you and I.
Yeah.
I really don't have any. I love what I do, and I love working. I love voiceover more than any other part of the industry. So I don't really have a dream project. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and get a chance to work every day.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I actually, I could make a joke of this. I would have loved to have been on Boondocks. I did a guest star.
We could have put you
I
in
did.
blackface.
I
and-
know. I played this white lady, Wendy's mom.
Oh, you did?
I did, but we never saw season 10, so I don't think it was released.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually did get a booking on the show, and
Rock
then
on.
it just went into the ether.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've actually never worked on any anime, and so I would love to do that at some point. I've mostly just worked on television animation and animated films, but not any anime specifically. So that's
Are
something.
you an anime fan? And if so, what anime do you
mean-
like to watch?
Dragon Ball Z was like my absolute favorite show growing up, and so that's like number one, obviously. But yeah, so if I could ever work on any of the many iterations of what they do with Dragon Ball, that would be really cool.
Would you want to be a protagonist or an antagonist, and why?
I mean, either way, I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice by the end of the session from screaming. So yeah,
Book
probably
it on a Friday.
Yeah, just as long as they book me on a weekend and not right after a convention, after I've been doing voices for people all weekend, I'll take either role, really. Just yeah, I just know I'm gonna lose my voice.
Hey, that is so. I just started doing these, as I said, and I did not realize, like, I'm just kind of performing all weekend, but
For sure.
more for my pleasure than anybody else's. But I didn't. Does it happen to all of us then? Like at the end of the week, you're done at the end of the week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, exhausting.
Monday is trash for me.
You're leaving it all out. You're giving it all away.
So if I have 2 jobs booked on Monday, if I can't do them, I blame y'all. Just so you know, seriously,
Just
I
sit with
blame
that
I blame
knowledge.
you specifically.
He's like, okay, I'll take that. He's taking it.
I had no idea how much you put out here because it really is fun. Like, I don't go to the studio and record anymore. I do all my jobs from home. I don't know who else does that. up
It's
here.
a mix.
Yeah. I refuse to leave my house now.
Only for these.
Yeah, only for these. That's it. And I'm trying to get in the next convention to be at my house, so I don't have to go. So it is great to like finally get out and meet people. I had no real concept of how huge the Boondocks still is, even though it's been gone after she killed the show a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Oh no.
It must
it's-
have been my fault.
I gotta blame somebody.
I'm the Black Widow.
Yes. Too late, too
Sorry.
soon. Too late and too soon. You're the African American widow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get away with that. So we have the mic there. If you want to start lining up right now, go ahead. And I think it's a great time to open up to the audience, ask some questions about voice acting. And again, I appreciate you all being here today, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Of course. All right, hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Is there an on switch for the audience mic?
Crowd mic, Q&A. All right.
Somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Oh, okay. I was like, if you want to just ask the question, I think we can hear you.
Yeah. All right.
IT?
I saw a light go on.
Give it up for Tyler, everybody. Tyler.
Woo!
Hi. Hi, my name's Nick, and I was wondering, what do you do? You just talking about it to get your voice back after long conventions or recording sessions.
Rest.
Yeah,
Rest.
rest is the biggest thing.
Honey.
Tea,
Tea.
throat coat.
Vocal. Straw phonation. Does
Prayer.
anybody do straw
Bourbon,
phonation?
bourbon.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
What?
Straw phonation.
Yeah.
What's
Straw
whoa, whoa,
phonation.
whoa,
I've done
whoa.
that during some like
What is
really
straw
vocally stressful
What is that?
Straw phonation is a vocal exercise that you can use. It actually helps to unconstrict your vocal cords.
Wait, what's it like?
Well, there's like if you go on YouTube, I'll show you after we're done.
Can you straw phonate?
I can't because I don't have a straw.
No, you literally use
With a straw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you saying to these people?
It's a real thing.
He's asking about vocal
I
exercises.
really want to know. Okay, we'll figure it out later. Straw phonation.
Phonation.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think, how do you even spell that?
Yeah.
Phonation.
Oh, okay, that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Phonation,
Phone.
phonetics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Straw
got it.
Yeah.
phonation, okay.
Yeah, it's good for like if you do have a really vocally stressful session, or you've been talking all weekend and your voice is really tired. It really helps It's like a massage for your vocal cords.
Okay, that's great.
That is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, for me,
You're
it's-
welcome.
Yeah,
You're
seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, it's rest and trying to drink warm stuff, but also
Like bourbon.
Yeah, like bourbon, warm bourbon. Also, since this is my voice regularly, and this is Uncle Ruckus right here, talking at something that doesn't hit your vocal cords in that same place. Like I might be seriously pitched up for the next couple of days, so I'm not hitting in the same place and irritating my vocal cords. But now I'm going to go to McDonald's, get a bunch of straws,
Straw.
and get phonations, and see what happens.
You're gonna be the king.
All right, well,
right,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for
Thank
your
you.
question. All right, hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hello, my name is Victor. I have a question for Michelle.
Yes.
So, based on the Resident Evil franchise, out of all the games that came out, which one is your favorite?
The ones I did. Revelation. Well, actually, I can really say that I think Revelations was a groundbreaker just because it came back to like the original scary zombie video games I think people were wanting. So I'm going to go with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you for your question. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Connor, and this is for all of you. What inspired you guys to start voice acting, when you first heard about it and wanted to get into the industry?
Yeah, no, I actually, I got started voice acting like decently young. Like I started doing Phineas and Ferb when I was a teenager. And so for me, even at the beginning of when I was doing voice acting, I didn't realize how much went into it, and I only learned more and more about it through different jobs and through meeting other, voice actors. And, obviously I love all the work of all these people up here, but, there was even a period of time where like I started appreciating how I would hear voice actors doing a voice and doing a voice on top of that voice, and realizing, how much better I had to get to try and really do this career, and like noticing little things that voice actors would do that would just be so impressive, that kept inspiring me. So it was like a combination of listening to like Jim Carrey doing just impressions, because that's how I started doing voices, was just doing impressions of people. And then when I heard Seth MacFarlane like doing like Stewie doing an impression of someone else, and it was like doing like voices on top of voices, and I was like, I want to learn how to do that. Like, how do people do a voice and give that voice enough personality to then be able to do other voices and things like that? And so it was just stuff like that when I was a teenager.
How old were you when you did Phineas and Ferb?
I started working on Phineas and Ferb when I was 13. Wow. Yeah, and I'm still working on it, and I'm 31.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the best job ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been in and out of my life like
So the show is still like you're still
Right now, we're
recording
working
the
on 2
anime?
new seasons of it. Yeah.
Wow.
For,
That's
So
amazing.
you still have the throat of a 13-year-old.
You know, no one's ever
You have
said
a very young throat.
that to me.
Yeah, amen.
What's
you
your
got a real-
secret?
I'm gonna quote you.
Straw
You got a
foundation.
real
Yeah.
young throat.
I'm
That's
quoting
rough.
that on my bio.
I have a young,
Yeah.
I have a
Young
young
throat.
throat.
Very
I can't
young,
wait
yeah.
to see your dating profile.
Yeah. That's going right on the Raya, right there. Yeah.
Top like the very first sentence.
Yeah. Everyone's swiping left.
I have
no,
a
thank
young
you.
throat.
No, thank you.
I don't know what that is.
I got into acting as a whole as a computer error in high school. That's for real. I signed up for something, and it put me in an acting class, and I was like, I'm gonna get out of this. This is stupid. And then I did a mime, and the teacher was like, that was great. It was basically baking a baby in an oven and eating it. And she was like, that was great. I was like, wait, I can make an A by doing stupid stuff? So I stayed in there, and then I started doing improv, and a guy saw me on stage, and then offered me a radio commercial, and that was it after that. But just kind of just happened to be. I never dreamed. I'm from a super poor family in Georgia. I never, ever imagined I could. Like, that wasn't even a reality. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna make a living or have fun as an actor. So it was all by mistake. And that's how I live my life today. Everything's a mistake. I drive with my eyes closed.
Wow.
A happy accident, they say, yeah.
Very happy.
Indeed. I saw The Little Mermaid when I was 6. That's aging myself. I saw Little Mermaid when it came out, and when I was like 6, and I was like, wow, I want to be a mermaid. And then I was like, oh, you can't be a mermaid. They're not real. And I was like, well, then I want to sing like her. I want to act like her. And I was like, oh, that's a thing you can do. And then my parents were like, go be a doctor. And I was like, okay. So I'm Filipino, and I'm pretty good at school. So I went to school for biomedical engineering with a focus in pre-med. And I was hanging out at the theater every day of undergrad. And I decided instead of going to med school, I would apply for grad school for acting. And I got an MFA from the California Institute of the Arts. And then after that, I remembered, oh no, student loans are a real thing. And I'm gonna tell you, private grad school is very expensive. So be careful if that's what you wanna do. So instead what I did was I found a day job, and I spent 7.5 years as a forensic scientist doing accident reconstruction.
Oh my God.
Why do you not do a cartoon about that? Like that?
About my life?
Yeah.
I
I
guess
wanna
I should start
see
writing
that.
that. But I was doing theater in LA and improv and sketch comedy and voiceover and just trying to figure out how do I make all the things work. And then at some point I was like, well, either you're gonna be a forensic scientist for the rest of your life or you have to try to actually be an actor full time. So I took a chance, and I'm lucky that it only took me a year or two to get with my current agency and, get Jujutsu Kaisen, which was kind of the turning point for me in my career. Because at that point, I had only been doing small roles and stuff, doing a lot of live action dubs, but that's good because I cut my teeth. And so I felt like I had a really good handle on dubbing, but it was just a lot of small steps along the way while I was living a whole other life.
That is really cool.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't know that about you. Yeah.
I literally had no idea you were smart.
I
When I was
don't-
walking up here
I don't
earlier,
give off that.
yeah,
I don't give off that
I was like,
impression.
here's the dumbest woman I've ever met. And then
Yeah.
Getting ready to do the second best
second
panel
best
ever.
panel.
That's why I'm a really good actor.
So for me, I actually have a degree in telecommunications from Michigan State. So I always wanted to be behind the scenes. I started off as a producer for Michigan Public Broadcasting. I was a producer, associate producer of a show, and I was an agent going through school. I was working 3-4 jobs. I've always worked 3-4 jobs to try and get to my dream. So I moved to Chicago because I thought, I'm gonna move to Chicago and do production work. Well, I got to Chicago and no one would hire me. I could not get arrested. So I started working at a bar, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take improv classes at Second City. Wow. So I went to Second City and I started doing improv theater, and I fell in love with it. It was the best thing I had ever done. And I was like, it took me a long time to get here, but I kept doing it. And I went from there to another place called Players Workshop. And then from there, it was Improv Olympic, which is long form improv, which is really hard. And yeah, and that's kind of how it started. I started doing live theater, and from there, somebody suggested, when I was bartending, this guy, Jeff, I remember him, he used to drink like a whole bottle of red wine every night and like fall asleep on the bar. Aww. I know, it was very sad, but he was this ad exec, and he said, why don't you come in and do some scratch voices for me at the agency? And I was like, okay. So I went in, and he would have me come in like at least a couple times a month, and he's like, you're really good at this, you should pursue it. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. So I did. And it's like from Chicago to LA, completely different market. Once I got out to LA, I was like, okay. I came out with my demo tape, this is when cassette tapes were still a thing. And I just sent it around to agents and got an agent, started interning with a casting director who did voiceover, just to learn as much as I could about the market, And I just kept pushing, networking. And 25 years later, here I am. Wow. Yeah.
That improv thing, that you're improv, did you improv too, Vince?
Yeah. Not as nearly as seriously as everyone up here, but yes, I did for a little bit.
I think that is, if you're looking at getting into voiceover, I think that is a beautiful tool to have.
I do too.
Under your belt.
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially with like in the anime world with dubbing. I mean, you have to be fast on your feet and create the stuff on the go for original animation, but then you add in a whole other layer of having to sync to screen, looking at
Looking up, down,
up, down,
Oh
and being making decisions really quickly, because a lot of times the budgets for anime are a lot lower than original
The
animation.
pace is very fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes,
Very
absolutely.
much. And also cold reading. If you can develop the ability to look at a piece of text for the first time and then just quickly make your acting choices and act from there, you have 10 seconds. If you can do that, if you can learn how to do that, you're gonna be half the way there.
Yep.
And the
And the
bourbon.
bourbon.
Oh, that's a secret. That's a secret sauce.
The bourbon. Through a straw.
Exactly.
That's strawphonation.
All right, thank you for your question. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Yeah, they gave you a bad microphone. No, it's not you. It's not you. It's never you. Oh, you took the. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that champion.
What a hero.
Took the crappy
He
mic for
is.
himself. You can't beatbox now, though.
Okay. Well, first, my name is Michael, and I can do a Lois Griffin impression.
That's awesome.
Let's hear Lois.
Oh, hi, Peter.
Hey, that's good.
Thank you, Michael, for your Lois.
But my first question that I was going to ask, but it already got an answer, was about the new Phineas and Ferb series. But my other two questions for you three first are, where's Perry?
Yeah, I think that's more of still of a me question.
I don't know actually where he is. You're gonna have to find him and let me know.
And then for you, my question is, hey Phineas, what you doing?
Not much, just hanging out with some cool voice actors on a panel.
Listen
Nice.
to that 13-year-old throat.
I was waiting for
a
that.
young
I was waiting for that.
throat.
The prepubescent
I know.
throat.
All right, so hello, my name is Gio, and I guess my question is, I'm a scriptwriter. I write scripts like YouTube stuff, and my question is, as voice actors and stuff, what are some things you look for in a good script?
I look in every script. I look for fun. What's fun for me, and I look for the fun thing. For me, this whole industry, and I think it's kind of cool that everybody's up here done improv. Improv, comedy, and voiceover are the funnest parts of the industry. More fun than the TV stuff I do, more fun than the movie stuff I do. So I look for fun. Number one, is it already fun? How can I make it more fun for me? Because You've been on the from 13 to 31. It better be something fun. You don't want to be tied down into some boring thing for. I don't do a lot of math, but I'm guessing it's like 78 years. You don't want to be. You don't want to be tied down in that. So that's number one what I look for.
Yeah. Like, can you it's what's wrong with it? It's a very subjective thing, right? You know, when you look at a script, like, is it something that draws you in? You know, what are the things that attract a person to a script are going to be different from person to person. But at the end of the day, if it's a script that gets your attention as the creator, then somebody out there is going to find something that resonates in them as well. So at the very beginning, make it something that you care about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second both of those things. Couldn't say it any better.
Yeah, no, I look for things that that get me excited to go in there and know that I'm going to have a really fun session, or that push me to do, you know, a new type of voice that I'm, you know, not used to doing, something that I'm like, wow, this will be a really fun chance to do something different for myself. So, yeah, if you're passionate about it, other people will be passionate about it, because people love hearing what people are passionate about.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Nice.
What's your name and your question?
Hi, my name is Yaheli, and I have a question for Ann Yatco. This
That's
is
me.
purely like a story question.
Okay.
But when Raiden was trying to create like a puppet prototype to rule Inazuma, Scara is the prototype and the Raiden Shogun is the final version.
Yes.
Would it be logical to assume there are also multiple iterations in between? And if so, are they all still like sentient beings, or were they terminated for being faulty?
I don't know. That's deep.
I'm glad
Thank
she
God
asked a
you-
scientist,
thank
right?
God
Yeah.
she has the degree.
Yeah, I know. No,
Yeah.
that's like
Let's get
that's deep
forensic
because
with
like
this.
in the lore. So in the lore, like they only talk about Scara and they talk about the Shogun puppet, right? But they don't talk about what happens in between. So you can either make the inference that there is nothing in between, or like you can make the inference that there might be other versions in between. And wouldn't that be so cool if Hoyoverse comes back and they're like, oh, actually there was like 4 other versions that are like running around Inazuma with all this power. I think if there were other iterations of the puppet, I think Raiden would have done the same thing that she did for Scara, which was to let them go. Do you know what I mean? Because the question was either to let go or to destroy, right? If it wasn't up to her snuff. And I think she would have also let them go.
So it's like up to interpretation.
I think it's up to interpretation. And I think that's a lovely interpretation to think like, what if she had made more?
That's a great question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Love the Kokomi cosplay.
Hi, my name is Peyton. My question is for Vincent. How is it like working with Dan Poffenmeyer and working on the new Phineas and Ferb again?
Yeah, no, I mean, Dan's awesome. I've known him since I was a 13-year-old with a 13-year-old's throat.
Throat hole.
Um,
I think
yeah.
the scientific word for this, throat hole.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's fantastic and incredibly talented. I mean, he's working on Hamster and Gretel and Phineas and Ferb at the same time, you know, writing music, writing scripts, doing a million voices. So he's crazy talented. I admire what he does a lot. And yeah, no, it's really exciting. I mean, I can't talk about anything we're doing in the 2 new seasons, but it's you guys are going to at least get 40 more episodes of the show, which is awesome. Because it's 20 per season, and we started working on it already. They're very funny. Everyone's fantastic. It's all the same cast. And yeah, it means a lot to, I feel like, any performer when people really care about the work that they do enough that they get to do it for a long time and get to meet a bunch of people. Like we all get the wonderful opportunity to meet all you guys, and people care and they respond to it, and that's super exciting. And you know, I got to play a character who, you know, on a show who now people my age who I've grown up making the show and people grew up watching the show, they're showing it to their kids, and they're, you know, showing it to like a new entire generation of kids, and that's really crazy that I get to do something like that. So I'm having the best time ever. So yeah, thank you for to support the show. Like, thank you for doing that. Yeah.
Because I saw, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I saw his TikTok of that he cried when you guys did the opening again.
Yeah, he cries whenever I record. He's just like, why did I do this? Why did I hire him for 17 years. I made a horrible mistake. No, yeah, we were doing something in somewhere. I actually can't talk about it. He got in trouble for that. We're not supposed to post anything from the studio. I mean, he can't really get in trouble, but I reposted it, and they were like, don't talk about that ever again. So I was like, okay. Yeah, he was emotional in whatever you're talking about, whatever video that was. I don't know what it was.
Video that cannot be spoken about. This whole panel is now redacted.
Yeah, just specifically that video. Yeah, they were like, hey, what? You can't do that.
Hi, my name is Mango Skirt, and Anne, I was wondering where you got your shirt from.
Oh, this was, is it Sugar or Sugar Studio? I think they're California based, but I'm pretty sure they have a website. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
And then since you said Monday is trash anyway, I was wondering if you could recite Inazuma's Shines Eternal.
Since Monday is trash, I'll do it here. Inazuma Shines Eternal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Christopher. Hi, Christopher. And my question is, I know you guys have been doing this for a while, but how can you change voices so easily?
I think it probably is because we've been, I don't know, I grew up in a huge family, so we're always just screwing around with each other anyway, so it's not even something I've ever really thought about. I don't have the gift that you have. I can't do impersonations at all. The only person I get hired to do a lot of James Earl Jones's work when he doesn't want to do stuff, but because he ain't got to, he's rich. But I've never even thought about how.
People ask that question a lot, and I'm like, it's hard to articulate, but it's just a lot to do with imagination or the 5 people who live in my head. But people don't really get that part.
I feel like over time, like when I first started voice acting, I had maybe like 5 or 6 characters, but they were all pretty much in the same vocal range. And then as you go, like I started hearing other people, what they were doing and paying attention and practicing, like listening, like I do kids' voices. So I would literally go and listen to kids, like at the playground. I would listen to how kids talk or, and I would emulate, I would practice. Or a lady, an older lady, at a diner, I would listen to that and practice. And I think you can draw from a lot of different places to create a character voice. So it's really more about the character and that character where they're placed. It's not like, oh, I think I'm gonna, make this voice super high or this voice super low. It's about the character. It's one of the choices that you're making based off of a character that you're creating.
But I think that the going back and forth is, like she said, the characters in your head, like at any point in the day, Uncle Ruckus is up here, right? Oh, he's in there, but so is Mufasa. He can be in here as well. So it's like, it is like a living, breathing kind of thing. I never think about what I'm about to say if you come to my booth, and you should come to all our booths after this.
I'm only here till 1, by the way.
Oh, yeah, so go there first.
Yeah, go there. I'm here till 4, so come. And I think you're to a pitching intent.
I'm sticking it out until
we live here now.
Yeah.
But like I think we all just spend our day like doing these stupid voices just because we like them. But I never ever think about what I'm going to say to you as Uncle Ruckus. Like it's not a thought process. It's just like she said, he's just kind of in there. So I never really think about switching gears. It's kind of natural. It's kind of like, I don't know, being able to
That's just because you're so good.
And young. I'm so young.
And
you have a young throat.
My throat is pretty young. It's pretty young.
Yeah, no, I actually very similar to Michelle here. It is just it's because even I don't do every impression very good, but I learned that when you take things, even if it's not, you're not actually doing like a good impression of someone, it's something. You're doing something, you're taking inspiration from something or someone in your life. And so that's kind of how I learned to do a lot of different types of voices. And some of them are completely organic and original of not something that I've heard before, but a lot of times it's pieces of something, of someone that I've heard somewhere, and I'm like, oh, I want to do my version of that, or they had something vocally that I thought was interesting. Yeah.
I'm guessing we all have, like, I make a lot of money doing my dad's voice. Like, do you guys do your dad or your mom in cartoons? Ever?
No.
Never?
No,
Wow,
never.
that's how I make. I should start doing your dad.
What does your dad
Yeah,
sound
what
like?
does your dad sound like?
He was like this. Gary, get out there and cut that grass. what you doing sitting in the house all the time? Get out there. So that's my dad. So people will pay me all day long to get that version,
great,
or I'll
yeah.
just put a little on him or take a little bit off of him to. Yeah, but you guys never do your parents.
My
They
parents-
owe you.
Oh my mom sounds like this. Oh my gosh, honey, where are you? What?
Well, my mother is Filipino, so she has an accent. So that is not exactly always the one that they're looking for. Eventually, I am going to get paid to use this accent. I am praying for the time that I can use this accent. So somebody hire me so I can use this accent, huh?
You're gonna write a cartoon.
I'm gonna have to write it.
About your family and your journey as a forensic scientist, and that's gonna be your voice.
Yeah, no, if it was my father, it would just be like, it should have been you in that accident, Vincent, not your older brother who was good at sports. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
Beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Olivia. I hope you guys are doing well. And I do want to say, Gary Anthony Williams, just know you need to go to all the conventions because you're a true joy to watch.
Look.
Okay,
The
do it.
second
It's true.
best panel.
It's the first one, okay?
But also, if you want to see him at more conventions,
I
you
know
have to
that's
you have to recommend him to the convention.
Because now he's gonna be on the on the hunt for the first best panel
first best
ever.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have not established the first best
Right.
yet.
This
but
is
this is
only the
clearly the
second.
second best.
Yeah.
And it's not number 2, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Top 2. So my question is, and you guys kind of touched on it a little bit, but how do you guys continue to maintain yourself and your own identity outside of the characters that you play, being that you guys have done this so long or the same character for so long? How do you find yourself? You know, how do you be Gary? How do you be Michelle? How do you be yourself and stay yourself outside of the roles that you play?
Dude, self-care is like, that's a journey, man. Like, I'm still learning how to take care of myself. Like, and I don't know if this is exactly what you're asking, but like doing these conventions, like when you get back and Monday, you wake up Monday and you're like, I have talked for hours. And you're like, how do you like come back to yourself? That's self-care, you know? So am I gonna make myself a really nice breakfast? Am I gonna sit down and have coffee and just like watch anime for like 5 hours? You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do with yourself to kind of like reset? And then I'm still trying to figure out like what's the optimal way to do that.
I'm pretty good at walking out of a room and being done with that room. You know, I really am. Like, you know, when I do a voiceover, whatever it is, I leave it behind really quickly. And I think improv actually helped with that. If you ask me 20 minutes after an improv show, I was like, if you said, oh man, I like that part where you walked into the door, I will not know what you're talking about. I will do it and walk away and forget it. Same with an audition. I will do it. In the old days, I would rip up the piece of paper, throw it away on my way out the door. Now I will just delete the file on my iPad, you know? I'm done. Like when I do it, I'm done and it's over. And I'm very good at it's compartmentalizing for me. I'm very good at That's the only thing I'm good at.
I'm good at that too, actually. I can like, you know, if I'm in studio and now I'm directing, so it's like I have to as soon as I walk out that door, unless I have homework to do, I leave it where it is, you know. The only thing I find it harder to recover from are these weekends, because I'm exhausted. So I do have to, it's like, you know, you give so much. You guys are here. We want to make sure you're having a great experience. You know, you're supporting what we do. So it's like, leave it all out on the table, and then when I get home, I'm a puddle. My husband's like, "You don't have anything left for me." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Should have been at the convention. You should have been at my table.
He usually is, actually. He's not here this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's everyone's process with their with their own jobs and their own work too. A lot of these things. I mean, this is our careers and stuff. So, I think you just have to work on whatever works best for you to chill out afterwards and make sure you maintain your sanity after a really busy week or something, just like everyone would. So yeah,
Hobbies are important.
Yeah, self-care stuff. Yeah.
Hobbies are important.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
All right, everyone, we have about 3 minutes left. So if we can rapid fire the questions, rapid fire the answers, we can get everyone in the line. And please, no new additions to the line, and go.
Lightning round.
Hi, I'm Lee. Thank you all for being here. Michelle, just wanted to say congratulations on your directorial debut. Super excited. Huge Gurren Lagann fan.
Thank you.
I work in post-production, so it's actually like a pre-production question. If you had any processes when you get a new script or get a new character, kind of how you find that voice or kind of like how you channel that from like in a pre-production way, like when you first get a new character, like how you kind of step into that.
Improv.
Yeah.
Improv, seriously, because a lot of times, I know for anime and video games, you don't have a lot of time to look at something and create a character. You're in the booth, you're handed a script, and they say, okay, go ahead, and then they'll play some stuff, and they'll say, okay, give us a voice. And you give them a voice, and they'll say yay or nay, and tweak it a little. And it's literally like 5-10 minutes, and you're off and running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a drawing of it, I look at the drawing just to see, what kind of bot voice comes out of that. If there's any voices I'm matched up against, I want to hear theirs to make sure. I think of it as music. Yeah. I want to hear their voice, so I make sure that mine fits in the grand scheme of things. But it's like making, like you said earlier, make those quick decisions strong and move with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good Nanami cosplay.
Hi, I'm MJ. This is a question for anyone. In your day-to-day life, do you ever find some component of a character's voice kind of merging into your own, or is your voice completely separate?
Some of the characters that we voice are our natural voices. Do you know what I mean? Nobara is not very far off from the way I normally speak. So I suppose just by nature of that, some of that seeps into my daily life, or is it that my daily life seeps into my performance of it? Something of one column A, some of column B. I don't know.
I'm always just doing stupid voices because most of my friends are stupid too, but I don't really ever blend. Like I'm never walking around the house talking like Ruckus ever. So I guess not so much for me, but just voices in general that aren't even related to my cartoons. I'm always doing that, but not really blending in. I do remember when my son was little, and he probably won't even remember this, but I used to read him. I used to make up stories for him every night when he was going to sleep, and I would always do them in character voices. And I remember one night him going, "Could you just be you?" And I do remember that. And, no, that's not bad.
No, I think it's so cute.
Oh, okay, it was cute. But yeah, they don't really blend in too much in my everyday.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I always have to be the bad guy. Time is always.
Oh, look. Oh, you cut this off because of brother up there? That's some racist bullshit. That's some racist bullshit.
Quick,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe this.
What's up, people? So here's my question. Here's my question. I'll make it quick. How do you adapt your vocal longevity to your lifestyle? Like starting out at 13, how do you go about going those 17 years and still doing that same voice?
How do you keep a young throat?
Yeah. I mean, it's I think that every voice actor takes care of their voice differently. And, I mean, I know that there was a period when I first started, really understanding that this was like a full-time career and you could really, do something with this and, people do it professionally is I started doing vocal lessons. And where I grew up, there was a good musical college. And I went and I took lessons with like an opera teacher. And yeah, I don't sing opera by any means, but you know, your voice is an instrument, and there are wrong ways to play it. And you know, it was just to learn better ways to take good care of my voice. And yeah, I mean, as everyone said, it's hard when you know have really strenuous, you know, after a weekend of talking to everybody and doing voices all weekend. Yeah, you know, it's gonna be a little sore, but that's kind of how I've been able to keep up with it, is just doing my best to take care of my voice when I need to take care of it, which is most of the time, and yeah, be responsible.
Okay. Because I know you're supposed to like drink a lot of water, not eat hot sauce, or
Not eat hot sauce.
Yeah. No acidic things. This whole
Let's not go crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think everyone's supposed to drink a lot of water also. Let me just make that clear. I think you're all supposed to, you should all drink water today.
I drink hot sauce.
Yeah, that's true.
And by the way, that was really rude of you to let a black guy go last. You should have cut him off.
Yes. I'm here till 1. Yep.
We're going to do a stage selfie really quickly, so we're just going to move this table out of the way. And one more big round of applause for this boy.